Welcome back. My guest is the Director General of the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, Mr. Idris Musa. He talks about the rising cases of oil spill in the country.
It's good to have you on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much. It's nice having me here.
Same here. Now, the Journal of Health and Pollution has stated that more than 12,000 oil spills have occurred in the Niger Delta region between 1976 and 2014. Now, Nostra, your organization, has also come out to say that between 2018 and 2019, over 1,300 oil spills have occurred in the Niger Delta region. So the question is, why do we have this high frequency of oil spills in the Niger Delta region?
It's very embarrassing that we have such statistics in Nigeria. And I made bold to say that such statistics can only happen here. We will rarely not find such statistics elsewhere among the oil-producing nations.
Why?
And the reason is not far-fetched. One, the oil spill that we have here are not the accidental oil spill that is supposed to be. Under the accidental oil spill, we are supposed to have what we call low probability of oil spilling, but whenever it spills, high consequence. In our own case, it is medium to high probability with high consequences. And how does it happen? Look at the statistics of the number that you have quoted, especially as from year 2, the high figure will be sometime from 2007 precisely to date, that high figure. And what is accountable for it? Reckless and vandalism of oil facilities. Reckless and vandalism of oil facilities. In all, when you look at individual oil companies, oil spill reports, you find some have up to 80% third-party interference. In other words, people who go to their facilities, either flow lines or trunk lines or bulk lines, to siphon crude. Then the remainder, but if you put everything on an average, all the oil companies put together, the average is about 70% vandalism. Then equipment failure, as well as human error in the course of maintenance, will now account for the remaining 30%. The statistics are there. It is not exaggeration. It's not sentiment. The statistics are there. And why does it happen? It's because of what I call lack of patriotism among some of our people. Because if you are patriotic, you know that this is the mainstay of our economy for now is the oil. And the facilities that are there belongs to you as Nigerians as well as the oil companies.
This brings me to the next question. When we're talking about vandalism, we know there are private and even government security agencies, manning these pipelines, manning these facilities. So the question is, how do vandals still have access to these facilities?
That is the irony of the whole thing. If you look at what happened in Abule Egba side the other day, if you look at what happened in Ijegun, where the one that burnt so many houses in Abule Egba the other time, where it happened, you won't believe that it's just a shout distance. I wouldn't say a stone throw, because depending on your strength, the stone you throw can go as far as 50, 100 meters, but shout distance. You call somebody, he answers. Was where the surveillance team put their shed. They were there, and there's only one entry into that point where this bunkering was done, and they couldn't just find it. Maybe those people turn to ghost when they want to go there, but even if the human beings turn to ghost, what about the tankers? Can tankers also turn to ghost? It's not possible. So something drastic still has to be done if we really want to nip this thing in the bud. And the earlier, the better.
You said earlier that it appears that there isn't enough will by all the players to stop this from happening. Could you expatiate on this?
The lack of will is this. We have had an occasion in the past where we had a meeting somewhere, I wouldn't like to mention where, and in fact 2 meetings. The first meeting, somebody had a technology that can really take a look at the oil facilities and provide instant notification should anybody go near it. And when we were all called, all the stakeholders, the regulators were there, DPR was there, NSCDC, all the oil companies, NNPC, PPMC as then were there, we were all there. And by the time the gentleman made his presentation, the coordinator of that meeting did say, how many, do we understand what he said? Everybody, of course, understood. And the question is, has this man gone to any of us? The man had really, or the company, let me not say the man, the company had gone around, all of these stakeholders gathered, and nobody took advantage of it, particularly the asset owners. They didn't take advantage of it. And I remember that the coordinator of that meeting did say, the facility owners should go and do a pilot or whatever he has and come back so that they can now make up a good policy towards that. Except that will be done tomorrow. And that's why we keep having this. The other one, we were at another forum whereby a group of people who specialize in stealing the oil or even formed themselves into an association, and they were so bold and they did say, yes, we do it because we believe that is the only way they can get their own attention and their own livelihood. But they offered to stop if certain conditions are met. Again, you look at it, it's very laughable. Have you seen where criminals give or thieves give conditions to the owner of an asset?
I'm curious to know what these conditions are.
Well, that the conditions are meant that they must legalize what they are doing, and then they must put certain things in place for them to now say, okay, no more, and indeed they may probably have to join in the rise against it. But again, it looks laughable, but again, maybe if you look at it properly, you may have to do some jiggling and see which ones you can pick and which ones you cannot pick. But the point is, as a nation, we just need to do something about it.
Has NOSDRA, because we know technology can actually deal with these issues. Technology can determine when somebody's about to comes near the facilities of where the vicinity of pipelines, and even technology to even say when this vandalization is going on. Has NOSDRA suggested this to the federal government for Nigeria to begin to look in that direction?
You see, when you say has NOSDRA suggested, if I say we have suggested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, it's an understatement. We have written, even last week, I got a call. I got a call from one of the soft media, I will put it, soft medium, which said that before another something happened. I read through it, and indeed, I saw fact in what was being written. What did I do? I put pen on paper and forwarded to the appropriate organ to take a look at this, and I suggested perhaps we can use this one to step up, to have a meeting again and go through all of these processes that people who have the goodwill of Nigeria in their heart are bringing forward every day on how to provide solution. We just have to provide the solution, and it's not far-fetched. It is not rocket science. It's there. You just look at it, pick it, and then the few that now go contrary to whatever is put in place, you punish them.
Now, thank you for staying with us. We will bring you the concluding part of that interview in the next episode of the program. In the meantime, please follow guidelines while at places of worship. Wash or sanitize hands before entering. Leave 2 meters between yourself and the next person. So, let's continue the conversations online through the email address and Twitter handle on your screen. Also, be sure to share anything happening within your locality with us. I'd like to also remind you that you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. I'm Ibrahim Adra. Please stay safe.